An Albuquerque daycare is under fire after the owner called CYFD on one of her teachers. The owner says video caught the employee manhandling a baby. It happened at the Eastern Child Development Center at Gibson and San Mateo. CYFD says it has pulled the daycare's license temporarily to investigate. The owner admits one of her employees was captured on surveillance video roughly handling a 7-month-old baby who had spit out a pacifier.
She's holding the baby like this, and she takes the pacifier and puts it in her mouth and then puts the blanket over her head. And the baby spits the pacifier out, so she goes like this with the baby, and then she picks up the pacifier, sticks it back in her mouth, and puts the blanket back over her head. And then she goes like this with the baby, and then she stopped doing it.
The worker has since been fired. The now former employee had passed a background check and had even come highly recommended. CYFD will review surveillance video to see if there were any other incidents at the daycare. No word yet on if the worker will face charges. An anti-abortion group is at it again, driving around town with graphic images of fetuses on its truck. Now the mayor is stepping in and asking them to tone it down. News 13's Marissa Lucero has the story.
They're images you don't expect to see when you're outside watering your plants or fixing up the front yard. They're images so graphic we can't show them to you.
It's a little bit unnecessary.
But if you live in the Southeast Heights,
it's terrible.
You may have seen this truck driving through your neighborhood. It belongs to the group Protest ABQ. The group has been driving around town trying to protest late-term abortion. That protest made its way to the top to Mayor Barry, who says the billboard is too graphic for children in the neighborhood. He's even put out a YouTube video asking the group to stop.
What I'm doing today is I'm asking them to stop that activity. You know, I'm a pro-life mayor. I was pro-life as a state legislator. It's not the issue that concerns me, it is the way they're going about this.
Barry says he's spoken with parents who are tired of seeing the truck in their neighborhoods. Neighborhoods like this one where there are 2 elementary schools less than 2 miles apart.
Yeah, I would agree with Mayor Barry on that one and say, you know, different time, different place.
I can't imagine having a kid in the car asking, "What is that, Mom?"
The founder of Protest ABQ saw the mayor's video and responded with his own video message to the mayor.
No indication that you are pro-life other than the words of a politician who obviously cares more about children seeing the results of baby killing than the children being killed.
But the mayor isn't backing down.
I'm just asking people, you have a legal right to do what you're doing. We're asking you to do it in a way that's more responsible. And
Marissa Lucero, KRQE, News 13.
The mayor says his office is trying to reach out to Protest ABQ to set up a meeting. The group tells us they're waiting for his call. Well, when storms roll through the metro, a dry arroyo can quickly turn into a death trap. That's why the city of Albuquerque is developing a new system to warn of flooding danger. The Arroyo Flash Flood Indication System will be set up along the arroyo, which runs near I-40. The city wants to install warning stations in several areas. Now, they would monitor water levels, sending an alert to AFD and the Emergency Management Office when they get too high. And the stations would make sure people know danger is imminent using lights and sirens.
We want to reduce the number of swift water rescues that occur, and also just to, build on our education to the public that ditches are deadly, but this would also just give an indication.
The city hopes to pay for the $300,000 project with a bond, which will be on November's ballot. But they say if that bond is voted down, they will look into other ways to fund the project. There's a new memorial in Rio Rancho honoring fallen officers and firefighters killed in the line of duty. Now, these granite bricks bear the names of the fallen. They were presented to their family members at the Rio Rancho Veterans Park. Officer Greg Nigel Benner was gunned down on Memorial Day during a traffic stop. Officer Anthony Haas was killed last year in a crash while responding to a call. And Sandoval County Sergeant Robert Barron was killed after being hit by a car in a snowstorm. Firefighter Token Adams died in the Jemez Mountains 2 years ago. And Sandoval County Fire Chief John Tibbetts was killed 2 years ago while on his way to work.
This morning's dedication is a time for all of us to recognize and forever memorialize these contributions and sacrifices.
The bricks will eventually be installed on the public safety wall at Rio Rancho Veterans Park. Happening today, Pope Francis will be in Philadelphia after a busy day in New York yesterday. The Holy Father will speak at Independence Hall, where the founding fathers signed the Declaration of Independence and Constitution. He will also visit inmates at Philadelphia's largest jail. Tonight, he's expected to attend a concert featuring the legendary Aretha Franklin and others on the Benjamin Franklin Parkway. He will return there Sunday for the Mass, his last major event in the U.S. before leaving for Rome.